Hi, I'm Paul. We're doing Leetcode must-know interview questions. Today's challenge is valid, parentheses. Given a string S containing just the characters, open and close parentheses, open and close curly brackets, open and close square brackets, determine if the input string is valid. Input string is valid if open brackets must be closed by the same type of bracket. Open brackets must be closed in the correct order. Every close bracket has a corresponding open bracket of the same type. So, it's the kind of thing that would compile in a normal programming language, that you have your parentheses and your curly brackets and your square brackets all matched up. They have some examples here, but they're very simple. Example 1 is obviously true. Example 2 is obviously true. Example 3 is pretty obviously false. In example 4, you have square brackets nested inside parentheses, so that's true. All right, this problem is rated as easy, and it's easy. It's a commonly asked question because, the kind of questions that you're going to be asked in a coding interview, it depends on the company. It depends on what kind of programmers does this company need. If it's if it's a FANG interview, the questions are going to be hard. If the company needs programmers of average competence, you're going to get average questions. And this is kind of an average programming question that that a lot of companies ask. So, what else? A stack is the perfect solution for a problem like this. What we want to do is we're going to take the input string, and when we're going to go character by character. When we see an opening bracket of some kind, we're going to push it on the stack. When we see a closing bracket of some kind, we're going to check and see if it forms a pair with the bracket on top of the stack. And if it doesn't, then the string's not valid. Another possibility is we've got a closing bracket and the stack is empty. That's not valid. If we are able to go through the whole string and match all of the closing and opening brackets, and the stack is empty, then the string is valid. Just matching everything isn't good enough, because if there are still characters on the stack, then those are just unaccounted for, and so the string is not valid. Let's see what this looks like in code. I can't think of anything to really sketch out. Java has a stack class. It's considered a legacy class. It's not recommended that you use it for new code. It's recommended that you use dec and dec array. So that's what we're going to do. I can get the cursor on the right line here. Okay, there we go. All right, DEQUE character equals new dec array. Let me move this over. Is this going to give me enough room? Let me give myself a little more room. It's a new, I'm sorry, it's not dec array. It is called array dec. Array dec. All right. Now we can iterate over the string. So we can say for char C. We'll use an extended for loop here. S dot to char array. Did I say extended for loop? Enhanced for loop. All right, so for each character, if C equals whoops, no, that's fine. Open parentheses, or copy this, or C equals an open curly bracket, or C equals an open square bracket, and you know what, it would be a good idea to give this a name. Let's call it stack. Stack push C. All right. Else, if it's not an opening bracket, then it's a closing bracket. So we got a closing bracket. There's a couple of things that can cause this to fail. One is if the stack is empty. The stack is empty, and we're trying to push a closing bracket on it. It means there's no corresponding opening bracket, and so the string is not valid. The other thing that can cause it to fail is, and there's going to be kind of a messy three-way comparison here that would be better to split off into a helper method. For a couple of reasons. One, because it's messy, and two, because if you're doing coding questions for interviews, don't miss obvious chances to split off helper methods. If it's a more difficult question, there may be multiple opportunities to split off methods. Just write the thing with a high-level method call, and then write the method later. Don't try to answer every single programming challenge with one big method. So let's just call the method match, and we're going to say, all right, so if the stack is empty, that's a fail. Let's also say if it is not a match between the top character of the stack and the character that we're looking at. That's a fail, and we'll return false. All right. If we get all the way through the for loop, the only thing that can go wrong at this point is that the stack is not empty. If the stack is not empty, we've got to return false. So really, a simpler way to say that would just be to say return stack is empty. It should be empty. I mean, it's empty if the string is valid. So we get true. If it's not empty, the string is not valid, it returns false. All right. We need to write the match method. All right, it's going to be a Boolean match. It's going to take two character inputs. Let's call them left and right. And we can say return left equals open parentheses and right equals close parentheses. Or let me copy this. Or you know what? Let me just space it. I don't want to line these up. Or left equals an open curly bracket and right equals a closing curly bracket. Or left equals an opening square bracket and right equals a closing square bracket. We can just return that. Some people write this as if left equals this, right equals that, if blah, 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 return true, else return false. I don't recommend that. It's too wordy. I mean, you're testing a Boolean condition and then returning a Boolean variable. You might as well just return the Boolean condition. It's more Zen-like. So we'll just return this. All right. I mean, that's all I can think of here. Let's run it and see what happens. Accepted basic cases. All right. Let's move this, submit. Okay, really good time on that. I mean, some of the timings on these kind of puzzle me, but in this case, there's just not that many ways to do it, really. I mean, it's just it's a stack problem. So all the times just cluster around, what is this? 1 to 2 milliseconds, and memory, I guess, about the same, right? Oh no, we actually are kind of on the low end of the bell curve there on memory. All right, that is it for valid parentheses. I hope you enjoyed it. You really should know this one. It's a pretty common question. And feel free to like, subscribe, comment, and see you next time.